Hello, everybody. This is Janice Masters, the Shaman Mama from janicemasters.com. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know how sometimes you get so excited that it feels like you're anxious? My hands are tingly, my arms are tingly with adrenaline. I'm just so excited because today is the first day of 30 days that we will have together of me doing Facebook Lives. And we're going to cover all kinds of wonderful topics. The title of today's is Everyday Joy on the Spiral Path. So, as you know, if you're on my Facebook business page, Spiral Path Coaching is the name of my business. And there's a reason for that, because we are all on a spiral path, which means we're going around and around and around through the same issues over and over again. And we'll talk about that. There's a lot to talk about with respect to that. I'm going to use this month to share with you, in, I hope, an exciting way about the way that I support and advocate and facilitate healing for women on the spiral path and for the men who love them, because we have lots of men who love us and whom we love. So what I did today, since this is the first day, I have an oracle deck, which is my favorite, and it's called the Gaia deck. And so I pulled a card for us to kind of give us a theme for this month. And although the lettering is backwards, it's called Enchanted Forest. And I'm just going to read you the very beginning of what it says. 1 minute life seems rather mundane and boring, and then all of a sudden, someone or something sweeps into your world like a breath of fresh air. All of a sudden, you feel as though you're on a magical mystery tour with a renewed sense of passion and excitement for life. And it doesn't really matter that you have no idea where this is all leading you. In fact, not knowing only creates more excitement. For me, I thought, oh my gosh, is that the best theme for this month, the magical mystery tour? Because that is how I feel about the work that I've been doing with amazing women for almost the past 40 years, 38 years now. So let's go back to the spiral path. Think about this spiral path, okay? Think about that as a wheel. That's the outside of the wheel. And then in the center of that wheel, where everything leads to, is what I call everyday joy. Now, do we live in joy all the time? No, of course not. But can we learn to return to joy more and more quickly over and over again? Absolutely. So go back to the wheel. All the spokes coming in from the wheel toward everyday joy represent all of the challenges and the possibilities and the experiences that we can have in life. So, I mean, we can look at all the challenges we have on the spiral path. We can look at something I call the personal glass ceiling, which is anything at all that you think limits you. We can talk about being a highly sensitive, empathic person and the gifts and the challenges that that brings. We can talk about our quantum selves, those selves that exist in the field of infinite possibility and whom we can begin to dialogue with, have a relationship with. The whole... Hey, Ellen, I'm glad you're here, even though your internet is slow. Thank you so much for popping in. The whole purpose of the spiral path, of us looking at that way, with that perspective, is so that we don't get bogged down in thinking that there's something wrong with us when we go through those same issues over and over again. The fact of the matter is we never go through the same issue in the same way twice, because we are never the same person twice as we go through that issue. And that issue has evolved in some way, shape, or form every single time we've gone through it. So, if you ever catch yourself saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm still dealing with daddy issues. Well, okay, yeah, and you know what? You might be dealing with daddy issues for the rest of your life, but you will never be dealing with daddy issues the same way you dealt with them the first time you confronted that issue, or the second or the third or the 100th time. There's always this process of evolution that we can find ways to celebrate, because bottom line, I don't care who you are, I don't care that I have not met you, there's nothing wrong with you. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with you. Okay? And so all of the work that I do with the amazing women that I have the privilege and the honor to work with is coming back to that essential truth. That not only is there nothing wrong with you, but you're amazing and magnificent and phenomenal and wonderful and beautiful and gorgeous and glowing and joyful. And so the work that we do together is about getting, you know how they talk about sorting the wheat from the chaff? Getting the chaff out of it, letting it blow away in the wind. It's no big deal. You know, it's just in the way of you knowing who you are. It's just in the way of you thinking in certain ways about who you are. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of this month because, again, this is a challenge that I'm doing to do a Facebook Live every day for the month of August. And that's really exciting. And so I will probably make them anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes because I know your time is precious and I want to keep things short and sweet and interesting and helpful and informative. Okay, and we can do that in 5 to 15 minutes depending on what we're talking about, depending on how many people show up and whether or not there are questions, because I'm absolutely happy to answer questions. I have lots of topics to cover that have to do with the way that I've worked with women and work with women now. There's a wonderful acronym that I was inspired with several years ago called Indie Women, INDY. And what that INDY stands for is I'm not done yet. And I'll bet that applies to most of everybody who's watching this video. You're not done yet. Okay, you might not know what's next. You might even not even have the oomph or the get up and go to go walking into whatever's next. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you know you're not done yet. You're not done yet. And you can manage a slowdown if that's what it takes to get you ready for whatever is next. You can manage sitting and wondering quietly, knowing that at some point, whatever is next is going to be revealed to you. Hey, Joan Silva, thank you so much for being here. I know you're definitely not done yet, honey. I'm definitely not done yet either. And to me, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. You know, I am in my 80th decade of life. I'm 71 years old. I've been doing this work for 40 years. And to be able to say that I'm not done yet, do you know how that thrills me? That I'm living a life that is constantly expanding and exploring and offering new possibilities. It's just so delicious. So some of the other things, you also say I'm dying with my boots on. Yeah, I'm dying with my boots on because what that means is I'm never going to stop doing this work. I mean, whether or not I'm working with clients for pay, I will always be doing this work myself. You know, I'm living a life of interior inquiry and investigation and exploration. To me, that is part of the just incredible richness of life. Such richness. So, you know, we have a bunch of things we can cover. Relationship recovery is one of the big topics that women and men come to me to explore. Because if you've been in a toxic relationship, you know, there's a lot of talk about narcissism these days. Well, you know, that exists along a broad continuum. Person you were in relationship with may or may not have been a narcissist. I'm not going to say it doesn't really matter because it sort of does, but the most important thing is if you've been in a relationship that has felt toxic or abusive, it has instilled certain beliefs and certain fears, and you can recover from that. You can recover and go on to have happy, healthy relationships. There's another exciting topic that I've been talking about lately that was inspired to me by Spirit just a couple of months ago. I think it was in May because it was Mother's Day morning. And that is the issue of exoneration. Most of the people I know walk around feeling guilt or shame about one thing or another or a bunch of things or a whole laundry list of things. And that's totally unnecessary because the fact of the matter is, unlike the concept of original sin, which really just speaks to the fact that, hey, you're human, there is a concept, there is a word, there is a very potent concept called exoneration. which means we wipe the slate clean. And we'll talk more about that sometime. There's another topic that I coined a phrase to describe a couple of decades ago, and that's called sacred selfishness. Taking care of ourselves. Okay, fine and dandy. We say we're committed to taking care of ourselves, but in the end, when we look at it as though we're doing something selfish, selfish in Western culture has such a huge booming charge on it, a negative charge on it, that we tend to unconsciously even shy away from it. But when you put the word sacred in front of selfishness, it takes on a whole different spin, doesn't it? And we can spend some time talking about that too. So, I am going to be here on this Facebook page, facebook.com/The Shaman Mama, every day at noon Eastern Time for the month of August. I hope you'll be here with me. Come with your questions, come with your comments, and be happy for you to share this video as well. Down in the lower left-hand corner, there's a little thing you can click if you want to share this with somebody. I would love that. And also, if you decide that you would like to have a complimentary Get Acquainted chat with me, just go to janismasters.com/contact. CONTACT, contact. Okay, so we have 30 more days together, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited too, and I will see you tomorrow at noon. Oh, thank you, Joan. I would love if you would share it. That's wonderful. I think as time goes on and people get that, we're doing this every day, people might find a way to wander over here, curious, interested, curiosity piqued. So I love you for being here. I love all of you who will be listening to this and watching this, and hopefully getting a little bit of inspiration from it. And I hope we'll have the chance to hang out together. Remember, we are on, as the Gaia card suggests to us, this is new, this is different, and we are on a magical mystery tour together. So let's have fun with it. And I will say goodbye, farewell, adieu, adios, arrivederci, until tomorrow. Bye-bye. This is Janice Masters, the Shaman Mama, from janismasters.com. Have yourself a beautiful day. Bye-bye.